Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at games from the 2010s. This was a fantastic decade for gaming and we have so many great games to cover. But as usual in this series, I'm just going to run you through a few of my personal favourites of that decade. This is FIFA 11. This is possibly the game I put the most hours into over that decade, playing this all the time, both on my own and with my friends. I got really sucked into Ultimate Team with this game, but this was back when Ultimate Team was pretty good. You didn't have YouTubers spending thousands of dollars in one video. Everyone just had a semi-okay team, and it was just fun. I had a great 5-star skill Brazilian team that was just an absolute joy to play. This is the first FIFA game that introduced personalities, so players reflected their real-life personalities on the pitch, showing off their flair or their aggression that the real players had. And it's also the first game that let you play completely as a goalkeeper. I just figured out what the sprint button is, so maybe I can now score a goal. Although I've got Marouane Chamakh up front, who was an absolutely rubbish player, so it's not guaranteed. This was definitely one of my favourite games of the decade, and this just highlights how great these handheld devices are, because we're able to play all of our favourite games over various decades so easily. A game I got really into at the end of the decade was Fall Guys, and we now have this natively running on Android through the Epic Games Store. It's also completely free to play, but personally I would recommend playing Stumble Guys instead, because I think it's much better. So that's a game you're going to see in tomorrow's 2020 video, bit of a spoiler there. But let's jump into Fall Guys now from 2019, I believe it was, because this is the one that really kicked off this crazy craze of games. This is my first time playing this game in years after playing quite a lot of Stumble Guys, and you can really see why Stumble Guys just completely eradicated this off the face of the earth, because this was a paid game, and Stumble Guys completely ripped it off, even ripping off the name, but they made it better, and whilst being completely free. Little fun fact here while we're waiting for the next round to load. Apparently while this game was in development, it was called Stumble Chums. Personally, I think that's a better name. It sounds really goofy, but the game is goofy, so I think it fits quite well. This is probably the least fun I've had in a game in quite a while. All I can think while playing this is how I just want to play Stumble Guys instead. So I'm actually going to quit this midway through because this is just miserable. Another fantastic game of the decade was Portal 2. I put a lot of hours into this during my university years on my computer. I love this game because Stephen Merchant is hilarious, and I also like puzzle games, so it's fun for me to play. I really like games that make you think about something, get stuck, and then when you finally find the answer, you feel like a genius. Even though I probably was just being stupid for 20 minutes and then became normal. It seems like I've accidentally deleted my save file for this game, which if you followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I've done that a few times now, and I've basically lost all my saves multiple times. So if you're anything like me, please back up your saves with something like SyncThing or even just locally. Don't do what I did. And if you know anything about Portal 2, you'll know the intro to this game is extremely long. So I'm not going to jump into it right now because it will take ages before I even get into a test room. I've definitely included clips of me playing this in previous videos before, and it runs really, really well. It's available as part of the Portal Companion Collection on the Secret Console, which is how we're playing it here. And if you'd like to play it, it does run beautifully. I will try and get my Steam save from my computer ported over to this, as I was able to figure out how to do that, and I'll show you that in this next game now. Sticking with the Secret Console, this is Stardew Valley, a game I hadn't played much until about maybe 6 months ago, and I'm now playing all the time. I'm really enjoying this game, and this is actually the save file I extracted from my Steam Deck, the one that I've been playing with my girlfriend. I did a lot of trial and error, and I even saw a few posts in the Retroid subreddit asking if we can extract save files from Steam and put them into the Secret Console. And most of the replies I saw said, no you can't. But I kept digging and researching, and I have found a way to do it, because this is my Steam Deck save of Stardew Valley running perfectly on the Secret Console on the Retroid Pocket 5. So I will be making a video next week explaining how to get your saves from Steam into the Retroid Pocket 5 and be able to play your games between devices. I'll also look into things like SyncThing so we can easily synchronize them across devices, as I think that will be really useful too. So watch out for that coming soon. Stardew Valley is extremely famous, and if you play it for a while, you'll see why, because it's just extremely charming. But if you don't know much about Stardew Valley, this whole game was created by one person, similar to the next game we're going to be playing. Just one guy called Eric Barone made everything for this game. He coded the game, he made the artwork, he even made the songs, all the music. It's really, really impressive. So Stardew Valley doesn't really need much of an introduction. It's beautifully playable here on the Secret Console. This is the Android version of Stardew Valley, also working perfectly with full controller support, and everything is beautiful here. But I would recommend the Secret Console version, as it just feels like the fully fleshed out version. The mobile version looks a little bit strange to me. The UI is all changed a little bit to prioritize touchscreen, whereas the Secret Console version is made with a control pad in mind. So I would recommend that version if you can get your hands on it. But when it comes to Stardew Valley, we do have a lot of choices, because I've also managed to get it running in Winlater, running Windows too. We just have endless options for this fantastic game, so make sure you check it out if you haven't already. And now, talking about games made by one person, how can we talk about 2010s without the most iconic game possibly ever created, definitely of the 2010s? And that is Minecraft, created by one guy, Notch. This game was just a revelation. I think I possibly got this game before 2010, because I got this game when it was in alpha. I was one of those people watching YouTube like CNanners and the Yogscast, creators who made lots of Minecraft content back when it was in alpha development, even before beta, and I picked up Minecraft back then. So I've been playing this game for what must be about 15 years at this point. Admittedly, I've not really touched it for about 10 years, but I have owned it for that long. I actually made a dedicated Minecraft video before to show that various versions of Minecraft are playable on the Retroid Pocket 5, and when you set up your Retroid Pocket 5 for the first time, you're going to get Pojav Launcher included with the device. And that is what we're using here. We're using Pojav Launcher. Everything runs beautifully. If we turn on the GUI and turn on debug, we can actually see the frames per second there. Right here it says 385 frames per second, and you're going to see that no matter what you do, that frame per second will stay absurdly high. All you have to do when you set up your Retro Pocket 5 is choose that you want Pojav Launcher installed. You then just need to log in with your Minecraft account and you are done. You can just start playing Minecraft and everything just works great. So if you'd like to play Minecraft, this is a great Minecraft device. Next up, we have a game that not only defined the 2010s, but also a console generation. This is Exhale of the Crazy on the Secret Console, and this game really defined that console. And as it seems the new Secret Console is on the horizon, I'm really curious what will define that generation. This game is quite difficult to run compared to others, so I have had to bump the resolution down to 75%. I've then compensated for that by adding some sharpening. Once again, I'm using my beloved 9v2 driver, and these are the settings I use to get mostly 30 frames per second in the game. We do get the occasional dips down into the 20s, but I would say it's very playable, and again, it looks fantastic on this device. So if you are struggling to run this game, try out the settings I've listed here, and I am considering making a dedicated short video just going over those settings, because I get questions asking about my settings in this game pretty much every 2 days. But you can see why this game is so popular, because it's very fun. Nice! Another truly iconic game now. This is Skyrim, running once again on the Secret Console, and once again I lost my save file. There have been a lot of issues with this game reported by the community, and all I would say to that is make sure your audio is set to QBEB, which will fix any audio issues, and the main advice I'll give you is you need the update for this game. If you're running version 1.0.0, you are going to face lots of problems. There are going to be crashes, you might not be able to run it at all. I'm running this update here, 1.1.14.53457.1, but I don't think you need exactly this one. You just need some modern update for the game. You will be absolutely fine. This is going to run totally fine here. And once again, I'm not going to run through this because I'm back in the tutorial again. And if you know anything about Skyrim, it is extremely tedious. I'll just say once again, it runs very well, and you can see me playing this in previous videos again too. This is Slay the Spire. This is without a doubt my personal favorite game from the 2010s. I've mostly played it in the 2020s. I probably picked this game up at the end of 2019 or sometime in 2020, and I have put an unholy amount of hours into this game across Secret Console, Steam, Android, and iOS. and I'm just continuing to keep going. Now on the Retroid Pocket 5, onwards we go. I just cannot get enough of this game. For anyone who's never played it, it's a game where you start with a deck of cards which you use to fight monsters. And as you fight them and progress, you get to unlock new cards, you can buy cards from the shop, and you can continue to make yourself stronger. But once you get defeated by an enemy, game over, start again. You get the same deck of cards and have to keep building. But as you progress through the difficulty levels, it gets harder. The enemies get stronger and your deck gets worse. It is just an extremely addictive game and I cannot get enough of it. So I'm extremely happy to tell you it runs beautifully here on the secret console. It's also available for iOS and Android, so you could just download the Android APK, but unfortunately that doesn't support gamepads, it's touchscreen only. So again, in this case, similar with Stardew Valley, I would once again suggest you either pick up the secret console version or try to get it running through Windows, through something like Winlator. But in my personal experience, Secret Console is just so much easier to get running than Windows. So I would recommend Secret Console, and you're going to have a fantastic time with what was for me the game of the decade. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video where I shared the games I personally enjoyed throughout the decade. Please let me know in the comments which games from the 2010s did you like? Which ones defined your decade? Did you like the same ones as me, or are there some other ones you'd like to recommend? Please let me know in the comments. Of course, like the video and subscribe if you didn't already, and I'll see you again for another one. Also, if you'd like to buy your own Retroid Pocket 5, check out my affiliate link to the official Retroid website in the description, where you can buy one the same place I bought this one. Tomorrow we'll be finishing this series with 2020s games, bringing ourselves right up to the modern day. I hope I see you there, and have a lovely day until then. Bye.